Okay, so this is a Sunday morning rant, pet peeve, PO'd, all because of a printer, HP printer. Now, I like HP. They've been pretty reliable last 3 years, but one thing that they do or have really gotten more strict on is their cartridges. Of course, it's like the old Schick, uh, Schick razor, give them the printer or give them the razor, sell them the blades. In HP's case, it's normally give them the printer, sell them the cartridges, and that's exactly what they do. And this is actually getting pretty ridiculous because it's one thing to kind of require that an original equipment piece be put into the printer, the HP printer. So HP wants to keep you in that ecosystem, but when they restrict the ability for you to print because 1 out of 4 cartridges is empty or depleted, it gets a little annoying because when, as I say, I got 4 colors. I took 2 out, and I've got the big black cartridge, the double XL. So the color, which I rarely use anyway, but they're depleted, with the granddaughter and wanting to print things, the color will get depleted. That's okay. But for basic business printing, I rely solely and will only print black. But the thing is, here's the thing, right? So this printer, which is the 9015 series, and this is all through the HP line, is similar to all the other printers I have. Maybe like a year difference, so a different SKU will be present. However, they changed the cartridge numbers. So the original cartridge is a 962 XL. All right, so here's a 938 that goes to a newer printer, same style, same type. Instead of a 9010, it might be a 9015 or something similar, but it's all the same design, scan, fax, whatever. Now, here's the thing. This, as you can see, I'm going to try and make a presentation here doing it one-handed, but I want you to look at the design of these. Now, these are 2 of the same cartridges, right? All right, so they are similar in construction. The dimensions are identical. I cannot find the difference, even in the pattern where it inserts into the cartridge. I cannot see the difference. Don't mind the difference in height because I'm not keeping things steady, but it's the insert. If you see the pattern where it's the slotted pattern, they're identical. I cannot see any difference whatsoever. However, what I do see, maybe the camera picks it up, is the QR codes that are on the back that are inserted to the printer, which will tell the printer whether or not that is an OE designed cartridge or a false cartridge. All right, so it's numerically different SKUs, same physical appearance, 2 different numbers, 2 different SKUs. They work the same, but because those QR codes are dictating to the printer that there's a difference, the printer won't work. I find that really ridiculous because I can't print a simple piece of paper, black and white. The printer just will not work. I haven't learned of an override. I don't know of an override. I shouldn't have to know of an override. And as for the color cartridges, I'm going to pick up a yellow here, if I can. And let's see. Yeah. Now, this is yellow, 962 versus 938. Same numbers, same differences. However, the cartridges are slightly different. There's a different pattern, basically the same, but they put a little notch out in the 962, right? Yeah. Excuse me, in the 938, there's a notch out that is different. And of course, the QR codes are all different, the same. So slight variations. Oh, by the way, yeah, I showed you these. All the patterns are the same. Same here. most of the construction is the same on the cartridge itself. Anyway, it's annoying. And one of the things that, we go through in automotive, yeah, we like to use OE parts. There's no question. Form, fit, function is probably, I don't have a problem with that. But my gosh, how many times are you going to change something in order to just resell it under a different number, a different SKU, and then probably charge more for it? And this is kind of rampant. But to keep now, if I bought a replacement cartridge like an aftermarket, technically this, as I would guess, and as I'm being told by HP on the monitor here, that if I don't use HP parts, this printer won't work. Well, sometimes in right to repair on your car, imagine being stuck with having to use OE parts on a 15-year-old car. It is kind of like a restriction of trade, in my opinion, or an issue. So I'm leading into right to repair, and that's a big thing right now. All right, John Deere, the tractors, farmers, they just fought and won, where John Deere was restricting even like the minimum access to have a farmer whose equipment might be out in the field. They're losing market time, which means they're losing price, and they have to wait for a John Deere specific or the company to come out to repair their vehicle or their equipment out in the field or anywhere. They're completely shut out. You don't want that as a car owner. I, as a repairs facility, should be able to give you the option. Do you want OE, or can we use aftermarket, which may have the same quality of a component, especially if the car is older? And cars now are lasting 13 plus years. People are owning them forever. They want to. They don't want to spend $50,000 on a new car, right? And I don't care to spend another $400 on a printer. I'd rather buy the cartridges. They're ridiculously priced. I mean, a kit's like 154, so it's 25% of the printer, but the printer still works, and I don't use it much, so it's a value for me to buy the cartridges. Anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole here on this because it's exactly what I'm experiencing with what you, as a motorist, could be experiencing if you're locked out, or the OEs have the ability to restrict your purchasing power through me or through your service provider, and they shut the car down because it's not an OE part. That's a pain in the ass. It really is. So simple things come back, and I don't mind buying OE. I get it. But my gosh, this cartridge here, which is semi-depleted, still has enough to print a couple pages. But because the other 4 cartridges, the color cartridges, aren't there, or I should say the other 3, are depleted or near depleted, it won't print. it's crazy. So, Sunday morning rant. But I think it's a pretty good comparison on what's going on. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, it's a rant. Sunday morning, Greg. Take care. See ya.